is there another all-time great who might move into the top 10 if they're not there already, or maybe even increase their standing in the top 10 in their profession in basketball? And that is Steve Kerr. Is he an all-time great coach? I think we agree he is. Where is he? Is he already a top 10 all-time NBA coach? Could he possibly move up the list with a finals win? Jay, where does he rank?
So we call this G-Coats, right? Greatest coaches of all time, G-Coats. So I have two. I try to do this in a Keyshawn Johnson-like manner. Instead of giving you numbers, I give you tiers, right? Some people are hanging on to an edge of a tier, as Key describes it. So tier 1, I have Phil Jackson's the GOAT, man. I mean, 11 NBA champions. He's the king of the three-peat, triple three-peat. He's the highest regular season winning percentage ever at 70%. And he has a whopping 1,155 wins, right? That's who it is. Red Auerbach in that tier 1, okay? 9-time NBA champion. His winning percentage, 66%. The guy won 8 titles in a row in Beantown. Tier 1. Tier 2, I got Greg Popovich. That speaks for itself. 5-time NBA champion, 3-time NBA Coach of the Year. Got it Spurs to the playoffs for 22 straight years. Also, Pat Riley, 5-time NBA champion, 4 titles with the Lakers, 1 title with the Heat. Coached the best of the best. And then my tier 3, I have Steve Kerr at the top of tier 3, right? You think tier 3 is interesting because I got guys like Eric Spoelstra, Larry Brown, Chuck Daly, Casey Jones, Red Holzman, Jerry Sloan, even though he didn't win a championship, all-time winning percentage and wins are really, really high up there. But if Steve Kerr wins his 4th NBA title, his winning percentage matches the elite of the elite, right? You have to think he's going to coach for a while. He's still relatively young in the coaching game. At the end, to me, that cracks tier 2. He's now in the tier 2 conversation with the likes of Pat Riley and Pop. He's still not Pat Riley or at the top, like he's below those guys, but he's entering that conversation.
See, yeah, no, and you got a good list. I know you're missing somebody. I just can't pinpoint it right off the top, right? You're missing somebody, and that somebody will come to me over the next couple hours. But your list is cool. Pat Riley, though, at tier 2.
Agreed. That's where I was going to go.
It's not even about a Laker thing. It's about just let's go to the Lakers. He won championships there. But the coldest thing I ever seen in sports, I'm going to come down out of the stands and win a championship. You can't do it. You know what, man? Let me come down second half of the season and go put this thing together.
But actually, I want to talk about
that was cold-blooded,
I agree with you. Okay,
right?
I struggle with Pat right there. Let me him as an executive, and it's the whole package combined.
He came down out of the bleachers.
Jay, I want to convince you because I could see you're on the fence with Pat Riley that it belongs in tier 1. Guys like Phil Jackson, when he's won 11 rings, but he had Jordan and Pippen and Grant and then Rodman and then Kukoc and then later on Shaq and Kobe. I'm not saying anyone's going to win as many championships as him, but he's tier 1, no doubt. Red Auerbach the whole time in Boston with Bill Russell, but let me just make the Pat Riley argument. Pat Riley, 4 in L.A. Then he goes to the Knicks. He had him in the finals. He had him in game 6. John Starr, if Olajuwon doesn't get his fingertip on it, they might win in game 6 with 1 star, Patrick Ewing. He had them a powerhouse. Then he goes to Miami. He wins in Miami, and then he sets them up to win again and again. Like, Pat Riley wins everywhere.
I agree. I agree that he wins everywhere. 11 is a lot of championships, man, and you have 3 three-peats. 3 three-peats. Like, that almost deserves to be in the category by yourself. And I also understand Red Auerbach and the impression of the game with Bill Russell, coach, the times in Boston during those times.
I could see the argument.
What if he didn't move around, though? What if Pat Riley just stayed in L.A.?
Pat may be so intense that as a coach, someone like Popovich maybe wears a little better over the long run.
No, I get it, but what if he just stayed in L.A.? He'd have got more chips in L.A.
So if you're ranking them, are you saying, all right, Phil Jackson 1, Red Auerbach 2, Pat Riley 3, Pop 4, and then Steve Kerr, getting into that 5.
And you know what's
How does Larry Brown slide in there? I just come to think of it.
Larry Brown's top 10, top 15 to me. He's in that conversation.
He won largely.
He won one, but still I feel like there's certain coaches that made the most of what they had.
No, he did.
He didn't have the same kind of star.
But he won largely with what's his name's team with wound up coaching the Mavs. Rick, come on.
Carlisle.
Right, Rick Carlisle really built that.
But he came in and got him over the hump.
He did, but he also got Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, but he also, I guess when you look at it, are you looking at the college game for him as well, Larry Brown? No, just the NBA?
NBA.
See, that's a little high for me then, if we're talking only NBA.
But back to Steve Kerr, the interesting thing about Kerr is he has played and coached for Phil Jackson and Greg Popovich. And I remember him talking about, maybe it was in an article or it was an interview, but how he took from both those guys. You know, like you could see
his best coaching job as the Warriors head coach by far. By far.
Probably.
It's not even close.
Unless you say 15 because they exploded in 15.
Yeah, but 15 everything was new. Everything was new. He didn't have to really have no adversity, so to speak. They've had a little bit of adversity over the last couple years because players have been hurt. They had to get back to their mojo. Then all of a sudden, Steph Curry gets hurt the latter part of the year, comes back, and then he has to manage Draymond Green in that situation. Then he has to make in-game decisions. For the first time, we saw him make an in-game decision that's being talked about now.
Yeah, the Draymond Green thing. By the way, I love K.C. Jones and Red Holtzman on the list, Jay. I'm glad you have him in there. Yeah.
Classics. I mean, Lenny Wilkens, you can kind of throw him
That's
in that
who it was.
Lenny Wilkens, you can
that's
throw
who I
point of that.
I knew it would be somebody that's who it was. I couldn't think of it, but it was Lenny Wilkens.
A lot of wins.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.